Welcome, everybody, to Heart of the Artist. I am your co-host, Whisper Poet. We have my beautiful co-host, Catalyst. Woohoo! Today, we have a fantastic interview for you. Queen Liberatti from New York City. Amazing gal. I met her on Instagram one night. We were up until 4 in the morning talking. I felt like I just made instant friend, instant sister. She's such a beautiful soul. Queen Liberatti, welcome and thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you so much for having me, Whisper. Thank you. The opportunity is so amazing. Thank you to everybody in the audience and everybody out in the internet world for having me today.
So it's funny because I said to you when we were off camera, I'm like, you're in California, right? And you're like, no, 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 I'm in New York City.
NYC.
And
Woohoo.
I was kind of thinking about, we kind of on Instagram, we have these different sort of groupings of poets. And I was trying to remember, are you sort of affiliated with the Galaxy of Poets group or like
I I love everybody. I'm not a member of the Galaxy, but I definitely always stop by in there. Those are one of the spots for me that are safe. So I like going to safe spaces where I feel free to just be. So those are that's one of the places that I like to go on IG.
fantastic?
Mhm.
You are definitely one of those people that's like awesome and friends with everybody, knows everybody knows you.
Oh my
Because I
goodness.
always talk about in the week, leading up to the interview, I always talk about who's coming up whenever I'm on a live and Queen Liberati, and everybody, their eyes light up. They know you. They know exactly who you
Oh man, that's a blessing. Thank you so much. Humbled. So it's very humbling, very humbling.
All right, so let's like jump right into this. So talk to me about like poetry. How did you get into writing? How did you and you have more you have a vibe to me that's more than just sort of like the creative poet spirit. You've got kind of like like a musician, hip hop, fashion. You got a lot of vibes going on and
Oh
you're a
my
fascinating
goodness.
personality. So how'd you get
Thank
into all
you.
the things?
Truthfully, I started writing when I was a little girl, honestly, and it was literally the only way that I could express myself. I was very into myself. I didn't really like talking much. And so I realized at a young age that I could communicate and be whatever I wanted through writing. So I would say like 9 years old, third grade, I remember writing uh, a steamy harlequin, if you will. And I had everyone at the third grade lunch table just there surrounding me. And I guess I was having my first my first book reading with my big fat letters, and everybody was there. And I was steamy too. I was very steamy. A lot had taken place prior to the writing. So I had a lot of visuals and different things that would go into my imagination. So I wrote this little steamy novella and everybody was surrounding me. So I would say the third grade is when I really started to believe that I could write.
I absolutely love that because, I have been in lives, with you, and you are
Yes.
infectious. Just your joy, your humor, your personality, you're just infectious. You cannot be around you and not smile. It's just impossible.
Oh,
Right.
thank
And
you.
so I'm picturing you as this cute little girl in third grade sitting at the lunch table with these other children spellbound around you. You were doing your first IG live, right? And you didn't even know it.
Right.
You were
I had
hosting.
no clue, not an iota of what was happening, what was to become of that a moment. So it was really dope just looking back. I mean, I think that's one of my favorite moments, honestly, because even at that age, I was baffled a little because I'm like, are they really like my little 9-year-old mind trying to really deduce what's going on? Like, are these people really just sitting around at the lunch table listening to me? It's literally like a book of, paper that I folded up. I folded up my own little paper, my big fat scribble everywhere, and everybody's just so intrigued that I'm dying laughing. Like, okay, so that's a good memory.
It's funny how as children, we have these elements of our personality, and it's like they're in their purest form. It's like time has not diluted those aspects of our personality yet. And
Hmm.
they're like, they're like, you know, like elements in the periodic table of us, right? What are some of your other elements?
As a child or just as a person?
You of your personality, you of your personality, what are your other elements besides that ability to captivate people and just captivate them and entertain them?
I really do believe that I'm like a big kid. I don't think that I always tell my kids, and this may get emotional because I really believe a lot of times when trauma happens to us, it sort of freezes time, even though we're growing up and we're becoming, yes, I'm a 47-year-old woman and I have 5 children, yes, but trauma hit me at a young age. So I feel like that innocence is what never wants to die. So I, as a 47-year-old woman, I'm still a kid. I always tell my kids, I'm like 6 years old, guys. 6 years old. All right. We're doing the best we can here. All right. So for me, I think that part of me, even though it was traumatic, I think in some weird way, it makes me this person. And as weird as that may seem, trauma hurts. No one should be hurt, children or otherwise. But at the same time, if me being traumatized is what makes me this person, then they go hand in hand. So it's almost like gratitude, even for
Yes.
the trauma. So being a kid to me is one part of my, or an element or an aspect of myself that I'll never let die.
Yeah. Now
You
you're an
won't,
Aquarius. You're an Aquarius. Yeah. And
indubitably.
yes. And you were so cute because you did your little live, for your birthday on Instagram. You were having so much fun. Um, but I think what you're describing, that quality of being a young at heart, I think that's a very Aquarian personality trait. I really do.
I agree. I do. Not to be cocky, but I agree. They throw that on us too. But um, I definitely believe that. I feel like we are as old or as young as we feel. And I'm not going to let anything, my surroundings, the pain, the trauma, the hurt, the heartache, to define me per se. Like, because all of these other things, they do age us and they do stress us out. And I don't mind having white hair and gray hair. My hair is graying underneath this little piece here, this little unit. But I am so grateful for my whites, but at the same time, I don't want to receive whites due to stress. I want wise whites. Okay. I don't want stressed whites. I want my wise whites. I want my earns, my rewards. So definitely want my whites, but not the stressed ones. So I fight every day, no matter how hard life hits us, to continue to be as young as I feel.
I'm amazed that you have 5 children because you must have children that are absolute angels because they have not walked all over your face.
All right, this must be a different show. No angels here. No, I mean I would
You
have
look
had
fabulous.
7. Thank you so much for that. I received every bit of it. My oldest, she'll be 31 in May. I had her when I was pretty young. My second one as well. I had two before I was 20. And then the last three, I had them when I was like 30, in my 30s. And you're like, there's this big age gap and this big, like, oh my God, I should have had staircases, like boom, 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 boom. And I also have a set of twins that RIP, my angels. So I have to always make mention of them. So I would have had 7. But I promise you, I think they keep me young at heart too. They don't let me skip a beat.
So
Excuse
what do
me.
they think about their mother? Or do they even have any sense of it all? Because you're very well known on IG in our poetry community. You are loved, you are revered, you're known, you're celebrated. Do they know that, their mama is kind of like a thing over here in our gang?
Um, I think they do, but at the same time, it's I guess neither here nor there to us because we're so like, everybody's somebody. somebody's somebody, anybody's anybody, nobody's nobody, everybody's everybody. So for us, it's just like, okay, just be great. No matter what you're doing, just try to be great at whatever you're doing so that there's no sense of, you should never feel a sense of anything, you just should always try your best to be a good person. So I think they know I'm a good person, a crazy, quirky, weird, good person.
I love that answer. That was absolutely beautiful, like grounded, Earth Mother, wonderful, beautiful answer. I love that. Are
Thank
any of your
you.
children artistic the way that you are?
Beyond.
Yeah?
And I think that I'm so in awe and I'm enamored by the fact that I gave up at a young age. I like literally left my poetry. I left everything alone and I started trying to like literally, if you've ever watched the Tiny Toons, Elmira, and how she's like, oh, I love you, little bunny rabbit. I was trying to like literally pour my art into them and then I stopped and then come to find out every last one of them are beyond me, greater than me. I am like in awe of them. Like I am nothing compared to the genius that dwells in these 5 people in this house. I pray that I get to see them fully walk in their talents and their gifts because they are so, I'm their number one fan to me. They're amazing. And not just because they're my children, but just because I wanted to somehow, like micromanage, but then I released it and I let them be. And that's what they want anyway. So to see their craft and to see them doing the things that they love to do musically is one of my biggest blessings, honestly.
Now, did they have different interests, or are they all interested in the same thing? Because you mentioned music. So where do their talents and focus lie?
All of them. Okay, so you have singers. My youngest daughter, I believe they all, they don't mind listening to the poetry, but they're not all into poetry. But my oldest daughter, she's a singer, songwriter, rapper. She's everything, actress. My second daughter is a singer. She just doesn't want us to bother her or push her, so I leave her. But I promise you, if the Lord allows me to see it with my naked eye, my God. So we're gonna leave her alone. But she's a singer. And the third one, she's like literally like a poet. And like she comes to me, mom, let me show. I'm like, oh my God. Like, oh, okay. Like I'm like bars though. I'm like, you're 16 with the bars, So I'm excited. And my sons, they already have music. Well, so does my daughter on Apple Music. And literally, like, whoa, they made that track at 10 years old. And they're such amazing artists and writers. And I just pray that they fully tap into themselves on a level that only God can do.
I cannot imagine what it must be like at a holiday at your house when all of y'all are singing and creating the creative energy. I mean, that must be one whale of a place to be.
We're crazy. We're crazy. I want out. I want out. Okay. Like, and I think that's what it is too when, excuse me, you're surrounded by creatives. A lot of times it's chaos because we're creatives, but at the same time, we all are our own frequencies or our own timing. So when I want to create and do my thing, it's like 5 o'clock in the morning. It's like, Ma, you're bugging. Okay. Like you and all this poetry, gotta go. And then when they're creating and being, oh my God, I'm like, wait a minute. Okay. I'm trying to sleep here. Like, I don't care about none of this. Yeah. So I think it's just really crazy, like when you're surrounded by creatives, and a lot of times, like if people would take the time to really acknowledge who's in their home, a lot of stress could be relieved because then you'll be like, oh, she's a creative too. Let's give each other our space and our time to do that because when you're a creative, you need time to process and express and write or whatever you're doing. You need the time to create. So it's chaotic sometimes.
Wow. But I bet it's a beautiful chaos.
Yes, beautiful struggle. Yes, indeed.
Well, so you are here, right? Because you are a poet, and not everybody here has had the opportunity to hear some of your amazing words. So do you have something that you would like to kick us off with the poetry part?
I'm sitting here trying to figure out what kind of mood do I want to bring into the room because I feel like we're having a nice powwow and we're kikiing and laughing. But at the same time, I think that what we started with the trauma, if it's okay, because that explains why I'm young at heart and I will never stop fighting to keep my innocence because you can only steal it once,
Absolutely.
you
This
know.
is
So
this is your space and your time. We are going to love everything you drop.
thank you so much again for the opportunity. Thank you to everyone who's first seeing me for the first time. Thank you for your time and your space. I'm going to go start with, let's see, I'm reading it from my iPad and I hope I can see good here. Okay, so this is called, is it okay to curse here? Murder, She Motherfucking Wrote. So I'm gonna keep these tears in the back of my throat because I can't seem to stream tears out of my eyes no more. I'm not gonna cry, I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna shed no tears. Keep my voice box wet so I can flood these fears that kept me silent for years. Silence will no longer live in here. Vocal cords freed up like slavery days is over. I'm woke, I'm up, I'm out of my inebriate, I'm up out of my coma. I'm done. Graduated from a victim to a victor. I done got my diploma. I finally got my certificate, my chip AA. I'm finally sober, walking with my head high. Look up, Marlon, say cheese. We're brothers. We're happy and we're singing and we're colored. Give me a high five. And just like that, I'm taken back to sleeping on the EAU shelter floors with rats, selling my food stamps for cash so I can get a bottle of St. Nights 40, tap the bottle and twist the cap. A pack of Newports, menthol shorts, if I could be exact, if I could muster that. It's only by God's grace that I ain't never smoked crack. To numb the pain and erase the facts that I was nothing but a lab rat for all my violators to take a stab at, to take a crack at. I'm no longer afraid to mention that. And as a matter of fact, I could take a stroll back to memory lane and walk you to the parts of my brain where the trauma lives at. Excuse me. Pick up the remains of my obliterated frame that lay lame. Jane Doe, a body with no name. Figure that. You picture that as a broken young youth, victimized and abused, raped until there was no other use. As a woman now, to keep my mouth shut, I refuse. I vow to speak the truth. I am living proof that you don't always look like what you go through. Alive, even though death is what they served you. Poisonous, incestuous, toxic love, mishandled, touched wrong, improper hugs. They judge you for drinking, for smoking, for sexting, for all of the above, but ain't nobody want to judge the pedophile for robbing me of my innocence, for that forbidden touch. Now they say I'm saying too much. I'm doing too much. I'm a bitch, I'm a hoe, I'm a slut. Call me out of my name, I don't give a fuck. I stand for me and every one of us who didn't throw our bodies in front of the train or under the bus. Me and you and I, we and us equals enough is enough. No more shame, no more silence. Time we boldly speak up, unchain our pain from our brains, remove the memories, handcuffs. God spiritually, get spiritually free and unstuck. Release the identities that the trauma was sent to give and solely be us. And God, I trust. PTSD will flee from me every time I pick my pen up. The ink will cry for the tears that are kept in the back of my throat. Because with every stroke, it emotes murder. She motherfucking wrote. Queen Liberatti, and that's that piece.
Well,
Speak it,
I have to
sis.
cry. I have to cry. You know, every interview I have to cry, and we're there. I, you know, you made the comment in that piece, I speak for all of us, right? And you so did. You so did in that piece. And it was just, I love it when you can express power and like the and I don't want to say anger because I don't feel like you're still angry, but it's like expressing all of the power from within you and blowing out and just blowing all of that away to be like, I am here, I am real, and I am not letting anything choke me down. And I know Ma Dukes is like bouncing in her seat.
I appreciate those words. Thank you so much. And to be quite honest, I'm always infuriated about it. I'm always incensed. I will forever be infuriated. But the thing about it is what I've learned to do with my anger and my rage, because I am adamant about you shouldn't hurt anyone. But children have no say. They don't know how to express themselves. So I am always infuriated. And that infuriation and that feeling of incensed that I walk with is now transferred in a way where it's healing. So yes, I take it and I harness it because I'm still enraged, but I'm not enraged in a way where I want to hurt people. I'm enraged to the point where I will be an advocate. I will speak. I will forever open up my mouth and say something.
You're
So
not turning it
that
inward. You're not turning it inward to damage yourself. You're turning it outward, like you said, to be an advocate. I absolutely love that. And I want to recognize my Dukes because I know she's got something to say.
Actually, I have a question first. Queen, would you say that your rage, your anger is the adult being angry on behalf of the child that went through that?
I believe that it's the child. And
Okay.
for me, and this is why she's still free. This is why she's free. I speak on her behalf because it's like you robbed her of something that you should have never done. And a lot of times she's the one that's raging to, so the adult has to take control and say, you can't rage out of control. So it's like a dual role. It's like the baby girl that lost everything. They took everything from her. The 6-year-old is like, kill everybody, go find them, figure it out. You should have never been. But the adult me is like, listen, little Shirley, what we're gonna do, and this is how I got my name, Queen Liberatti. Queen Liberatti is for Shirley because Shirley was not trying to come out of her shell, her comfort, upset, victimized. But Queen Liberatti is teaching me, Shirley, I walk in my Shirley too, how to be free and not to walk in that pain. Use the pain, use the heartache, use all of it to help other people, to remind people that they're worthy, remind people that they matter, remind people that we are not the abuse. We are not the rape victim, but we are the people that God allowed for something to happen to so that we can go help another person. So that's what my pain does. It's not here to hurt anybody. It's
Oh,
really a
girlfriend, like,
superpower now.
yes. You're the second poet I know that has said they've turned their pain into their superpower, literally almost verbatim. And that's a beautiful thing. I've just become an instant fan of yours. And
Thank you.
like, girlfriend, I don't want to take over Whisper's show. I have so much I'd love to ask you though, or talk about. But speak it, sis. Please speak it all, because we're here for it.
This is more
And that was,
important to me than anything. I am so touched by your words.
you
The
know,
really amazing
yeah.
thing about this to me is that, like I said earlier on, you and I connected that night. And like, other than Teresa, I don't know that how much anyone else knew, but I knew, like, I wanted you from day one. I'm like, I gotta get her in here. I gotta get her in here. And I could not wait for everyone to hear your words because you just are this powerhouse of sharing this love and this wisdom, and it's beautiful. And you're a beautiful, amazing, powerful advocate, and it just makes me so happy because what you're doing right now is exactly what we envisioned for the show, right? It was
Wow.
to give strong, dope, amazing female poets the time and space to show what's underneath the amazing poetry and make your footprint in the world a little bit bigger of the things you care about so deeply. And you're doing that right now, and it's beautiful.
I appreciate that. That means so much to me because a lot of times, when you carry this enormous weight that you have to harness as a superpower, it also comes with the other part of me. I go by suicide's rival as well, because that's the thing that comes to attack you the most, because your worth, your value, all of these things are lumped in one ball of clay, which is me, and at the end of the day, when you know that you've been spared to share and to show people that love is this amazing thing, forgiveness is this amazing power. I don't walk in the pain of, oh, I was raped and all these different bad things happened to me. I acknowledge it and I'm infuriated so that I never forget, so that I can always be walking in compassion and in healing. Because we forget sometimes. And then we forget when we see a younger woman going through things, we want to judge and point. But I did a lot of things in my life because I was trying to navigate through this big world with all of these blotches and all of these things and categories and labels put on me as a young kid, So when you tell me what you're telling me, this is what it's for. So if nothing else happens, everything happened today. Thank you for this moment. Thank you, everybody, for listening.
I just am so, I'm in love with you. You're just amazing. And we're just sitting here making each other cry. It's awesome.
I'm like, okay now, all right.
Let's let the whole world watch us cry. It's amazing. It's amazing. But I do. That poem is so powerful. And, I a lot of times tend to get bogged down because I have, some similar history, sexual abuse, rape, and I tend to get bogged down. And so when I hear someone like you who has been able to really take that and just project it outward in this amazing, strong, powerful way, like that inspires me. And you and I talked about doing a collab. I still want to do that with you, by the way. But
Yes.
it inspires me. It inspires everybody around you. So I
I,
hope
I think it should just be a whole damn anthology
Oh
on
my
women
God.
with poetic superpowers. Oh, wait, did I say all that out loud?
Yes, you did. You're exactly right. It is. So Queen, please give us some more. We need some more of that fire pen. It's amazing.
Thank you so much. I'm gonna, since we're on that, I'm gonna do another one for, I guess, single moms and women who are playing the dual role of that. And this is called, we call it family. Man the man, woman the woman, mother the daughter, father the son. United we stand, divided we're done. As family, we're moving like a unit, legion, 6,000 becomes an army of one. Apart, we are defeated, an army of none. Broken families is a tragedy. Since man left the home, it's been open sesame. No protection, no covering, no posterity. It's like chopping the head off the body. Sounds like a decapitation to me. Dead on arrival, leaving us women to fight for our survival. Now we're the ops, we're the rivals. On my knees, I'm at the gun range. Prayer be my clip and the Bible be my rifle. I can't afford to stay idle. I have to move up and down the aisle, food and clothes shopping, feed the kids all while possessing a sense of style. Go to work, go to church. Don't forget to vote. Remember, your taxes must be filed. My life is like moonwalking with Billie Jean on the Green Mile, waiting to be executed. That's all before breakfast, before the morning news of another police shooting, black on black crime, or another hanging, some more rioting and looting. I swear I want to be soft, docile, and dainty, but I can't. I became hard as soon as I began to wear the pants. I'm that woman that has to woman the woman and man the man. I had to learn to tiptoe and to tap dance as fast as Master Say, reply and was certified for them food stamps. The father in majority of these single family homes now is Uncle Sam. Fighting for my rights, fighting for my kids, fighting for my life. I'm just fighting to live. I have to mother the daughters and father the sons, playing dual parts the best that I can. I assume the role of I assumed the role, I became the man, all while still trying to fulfill my rightful duties as a woman, a miracle working magician. It's hard to be soft when life circumstances forces you into being a man. I just want to sing and dance, clap my hands while celebrating whole families across the land, but I can't because my family is broken. The man is gone, left us with a gaping wound. We're left wide open. I got to stand on the front lines, fight for my bloodline. I don't have time to be soft when I'm worried sick out of my mind. Who's going to kill mine? Scared all the time, praying to God, are all my children going to be fine? Rent is due and Con Ed ain't received a damn dime. And I ain't gold digging for mine. Most of the times, those be the pretty and soft kinds. Kevin Samuels would say if he were with us today that I ain't the marrying kind because of all the baggages that's been left behind. It's funny how men call their seed baggage. That shit blows my mind. But they love to climb on the mountain of you and me to plant their seed up, to plant their seed, to leave their seed behind. Isn't that divine? Don't mind me and my sarcasm. That's how I get off. That's how I orgasm. In other news, I'm the Coretta of your Martin, the Betty of your Malcolm. I'm making kings and queens, but I couldn't make them without him. So him, the head of the family, is what we need. Put the pieces back together of the family tree, rooted and grounded firmly. Together as one, we have dominion. Victory is spelled Family. We call it family. Queen Liberatti, and that's that piece. Whew. That's what my
Damn, girl, this is the first. You're going to make me cry twice.
Just losing it over here. Like, huge fan. Oh my God.
Thank you so much.
Like, oh my gosh. And you've brought me to something that I wanted to ask you about earlier because you were so real. You were such a real girl. Like, you have got mad style and mad vibe, you know, and gorgeous and all these things, but you're real. And I can't imagine the men trying to get up on your vibe. Probably most of them are fake ass, whatever. How do you find trying to date? You're in one of the biggest cities in the world. It's probably still hard to make a real connection, isn't it?
I'm gonna blame it on my Aquarian. You know, being an Aquarius, they say that we are women with big dick energy. Excuse my French, guys, but that's what they say about us, right? And for me, I'm just a being. So I just gravitate to people. You know, the thing about men, though, is that I've always wanted my friend, and no one wants to be my friend. And I was married for 13 years, divorced, and then I got with somebody. I call him my COVID love. You remember love in the time of cholera? Well, love in the time of COVID. And I really fell in love with this man. And I really believe he was my friend, but at the same time, it just didn't work out. But for me, the minute that I find out that they don't want to be my friend, I'm turned off anyway. So it's easy for me to meet somebody, but I can't keep anyone that won't be my friend because I feel like a relationship is really a friendship set on fire. That's what love is to me. So until I can find the person that's a sapiosexual being like me, mentally arouses me, stimulates me, I'm not sharing my body anymore because I'm tired of that too. Sex in the city life is not. I'm 47. I'm tired, you know, for me, and I'm gonna keep it as candid as possible. I'm reclaiming my celibacy only because it's like I don't want to be underneath another person that doesn't want to be my friend. Why am I sharing myself with you? You know, so it took some time getting here, but we're here. You know?
I swear, I think that somehow we're going to end up in this amazing commune of women helping and supporting and just laughing and living. And it's going to be like, okay, all you jokers out there, whatever, y'all stay outside the fence because we know what's up in here. We know what's up in here.
For real. Seriously, I've had to ask myself. I mean, I'm not a lesbian, let's be honest. But at the end of the day, and I'm not knocking anyone who is, it's just that it's if I didn't know that that's not my thing for me, I'd probably be because it's like, brothers, what's going on? And I know there's amazing brilliant men out here, but I think the problem is that the good women are being hurt by the men that were good, that some other woman trampled all over. Because there are those women too, and I think that we give the guys a hard time, but I think it's equal blame. I don't think no one should get more blame than the next. Good men are being made into fuckboys.
Yeah.
You know, somebody's heart is being broken here. So until people are healed and want to be a friend, I'm going to just keep it to myself.
Yeah. I think we're a little bit all victims of the damage that we've sustained. And I'm starting to feel like one of the biggest problems is incompatibility and the inability to recognize it.
Yeah.
Because gosh, people can hurt each other.
Yeah, it's a narcissistic time too. It's a very narcissistic generation that we're living in, and I know for me that's been what I, as a super empath, and I've asked my therapist, I'm like, Salvatore, am I a narcissist? Like, no, narcissists wouldn't even ask. You know, at the end of the day, like I deal with narcissism every time, and I think that people are so self-centered and self-absorbed, and whatever they're going through, they don't see outside of themselves. And there's a lack of compassion, and we're not here to breastfeed the whole humanity. If you didn't get it at a certain time, our job is not to make you get it. Our job is just to continue to be who we are, and hopefully our people will gravitate to us. And we pray for those that haven't gotten there yet, but I'm praying for my person to see me in a crowd, and I see him in a crowd. Like, can I say something? I don't want nobody. Oh my God! So there's this guy at Trader Joe. If he ever sees this, I'm not crushing on you, but this beautiful guy, right? He we had this dialogue as he was bagging my groceries, and I was having a hard day that day, and he was just pouring into me, and I back to him, and just, it was a tit for tat. I was like, how Lord feel like? You know, I was like, oh my Lord. And then the other day I went to Trader Joe's, I saw him, and I did my little wave, but I didn't go up on him or nothing like that. I went upstairs on the elevator, because I had the big trolley. He comes out, he comes upstairs just to tell me that, oh my God, you know, everything he told me the other day was so amazing, but his aura was so bright. And I was like, you're so bright today. You're so amazing. He was like, and so are you. It was like a movie. I was like, oh my God, could you be him? He was so beautiful. But anyway, I know that's not what the show is about, but he was so incredible.
I love seeing you with stars in your eyes. That is absolutely the cutest story. I hope it has a happy ending. I want it to be a movie where it has a happy ending.
That would be dope. Woo.
So, do you have
I'm caught outside now. You can see I'm caught. I'm caught.
Right? So, do you have any poems about relationships?
Well, I have my Clark Kent one, but because I'm under the weather, I will still do it. But do not judge me, anyone on internet world, for any cracks or anything, because it's not my fault. You know, but it's called Ode to Love, but everyone now has dubbed it the Clark Kent poem. So now every time I go out, it's like Clark Kent, Clark Kent. So
we got to hear this. We got to hear this.
This is called my Ode to Love / Clark Kent. Excuse me. I'm going to try my best. I love you, Clark Kent. You don't need to go inside no booth, because you're already my Superman. And I love you like only Lois cares. We'll fight the kryptonite, baby. And when they try to keep you down, baby, I'll put you on my wings and we gon' fly, baby. I love you, Clark Kent. Love. I love you. Emphatically enthralled with every fiber, every tendon, every sinew, every molecule of clay, every particle of dust compiled by the dirt of the ground to make you. Encapsulated behind skin and bones, love, I yearn you, the real you. Not just what my retina sees, but I see beyond your physical being. See, this yearning supersedes any need for me to be just another rolling in the hay or just another freak in between the sheets. You are my Boaz, the man of my dreams. I yearn for the day when reverie is reality and reality reverie, where everything's up in my face like nose hairs 3D live and living color vivid HD, because in my imagination, nothing's in black and white. In my mind's eyes, I've watched you play in my mental big screen. You are my movie. And as your audience, nothing in this world can move me. I'm your biggest fan behind the scenes, your number one groupie. If loving you is wrong, I don't want to be right, so sue me. This intergalactical supernatural movie journey called life, playing the supporting role as your best friend, your helpmeet, your lover, your wife, always by your side like that rib that used to reside, taken out of you so that I'd come alive, animated in my full element, bone of your bone, flesh of your flesh, presented to you as the softer version of you, the weaker vessel, made with delicate tissue so your head could be nestled right in my chest. Find comfort in them, ravish my breast so that your thoughts and your worries could be put to rest. It was never good for man to be alone. How soon do we forget? The Garden of Eden where we first met, I being made in your image as you slept together, you and me, we were closer than a mother and her fetus. Is it safe to say that at one point that this rib was your fetus? You gave birth to me, not C, but side section. Purpose by design. When you see us, you see God's reflection. This love that I have for you has been placed here without my requesting. It's my God-given birthright, not a suggestion. I will love you forever. I will pray for you before we ever speak. Our souls mate together. I will honor you before we even meet. So love, wherever in this world you may be, just know that I am on bended knees, praying daily that when you wake from your sleep, the good thing presented to you would be me. Love. I love you. Queen Liberatti, and that's that piece.
Okay. You gonna make me cry 3 times? God. That, oh my God, I don't even know what to say. Yes, like 1,000 times yes. That, oh, you just broke my heart. Like you broke my heart. And I think that is the heart of all of us, right? We all want that kind of just love. That thing. Everything that you just said, I don't even need to encapsulate it with more words. It's everything that you just said. I think that's what every single one of us on this planet wants, that feeling of being just completely connected to another person in that absolute safe space. Just is beautiful. I hope you find that love. I hope we all do.
I thank you so much.
It's not a suggestion. It's not a
pray.
suggestion.
And I want to encourage someone who's listening or who will play this back and see it on YouTube or wherever they catch this at. This poem, and this is what I mean, like, even though I'm not with the young man anymore, and I'm what you call a limerent, someone who deals with limerence, and God has dealt with me with that, and I've worked hard not to go into that. And this poem was birthed because I was in a limerent love affair with a man. It was like a phantom love affair. And I was in church at that time, and I really loved him with every fiber of my being, because he dangled himself, and this idea of him became bigger than what it really was to me. So I was obsessed in this crazy phantom love affair with someone who only literally dangled meat in front of me. And so when he removed the meat totally, and he had nothing left to do with me, the rejection that I dealt with was so strong. The depression and the darkness was so strong that this poem was birthed out of that, because it was going to consume me and kill me. Because again, the trauma, look at all the trauma, trying to attach my self-worth to another human being. I had to realize that I apart from any attachment or accoutrements. I'm worthy because I was made worthy. I didn't need anything attached to me. And so that poem was me decreeing and declaring what I deserve as a human being. So what, you were rejected. So what, you have pain. So what, they didn't want you. They didn't want you. Doesn't mean you don't want you, and that you're unworthy, and that God doesn't love you, and that there's not someone suited up somewhere. You are their prayer. You are their desire. You are their dream. You haven't met them yet, but you're the one that they're praying for. And to tap into that person, tap into you so much that he can't do nothing but find you. And you're not doing it so he could find you. You are doing it so you could find you, so that your aura could be so bright you can't not be seen by those that belong to you. So that's what that poem's for. It's a liberating poem. I decree that I will one day possess that. And so will you, and so will everyone else who has ever dealt with heartache, if you still want that.
That's the person that you and I connected over, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Because, you know, the reason we connected is I went through that same thing.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
sisters in spirit for sure with that. That poem was
Definitely.
absolutely brilliant, and I am so thankful that I got to hear it.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you so much.
Like I don't even just wow.
Thank you, guys.
I'm sitting here I'm like literally speechless. Which, girl, it takes a lot to shut me up.
And
Everybody watching the show knows me and knows it takes a lot to shut me up. But seriously, you are an amazing advocate, and it's evident through all of your writings that your spirituality is really, really important to you. Did you grow up in a religious household? Did you grow up like singing in church, or like what's your background with that?
definitely grew up with my mom. My mom is the biggest influence to me because I think I mirror my mom's life to the T. And my heart goes out to my mom more than anybody because her sacrifice is immense. And I said that, I apologize, someone's coming home. But we were raised in church, but again, my mom dealt with the same church hurt that I've dealt with. So it was short-lived, but faith is embedded in me because of my mom. So I've always been church. And then I had these amazing, amazing people come into our lives, the Barnetts and the Tafalises. These two couples, oh my God, they were tremendous in our upbringing and showing us love. These two beautiful white couples who showed us the love of God. And even now, when I think of it, I am in awe. When the world is at odds with each other, and racism here and racism there, and everybody's like, I love being Black with all my love for being a Black woman, yes. But I would be a hypocrite if I sat here and didn't talk about the Barnetts and the Tafalises who loved me with the same melanin. They're white people that love me like they're melanated. You know what I mean? And I want to pay homage to them and my mom. So yes, I was raised to believe in God, whether you go to church or not. We would sing together in the caravan of love, that they had when they would pick us up. And they just poured God into us. I'll never forsake God, even though I've forsaken him in so many ways, but I will never denounce him. I will never leave him despite of all my flaws. And as many times have I fallen short. I'm that lady that I'm a Samaritan woman. I'm the lady that they go and they take her from the act and they say, here she is, Jesus. And Jesus is like, he without. So I'm forever indebted to God of the universe. Everybody has a name for him, but the God that made us, the God that has us on these apps right now, I don't care what you call him. I serve that God in all my flaws. That's who I represent today. So yes, and long.
I love your energy, and I'm with you. Everything, I truly believe we are all divine. Everything, everybody, everywhere, we are all divine, and you definitely have God's love flowing through you. There's no doubt. I feel it. I see it. And you know what? Anybody who meets you gonna love you. You are just a doll. Yeah, I I am so happy that we got to have this conversation today because I knew it was going to be amazing. But in truth, you and I had really not spent much time together prior to this, right? We had that one amazing marathon conversation in the middle of the night those months ago, which I think was like what, wasn't that like right before Christmas, kind of around
Yeah, because
maybe
that's
early
when it all
December?
happened. Yeah, that's when I
Yeah,
broke up with him November um the 19th, and
it was December 19th that we had that
yeah,
conversation. It was
yeah.
December
I
19th.
can tell you from live-in roommate experience, Whisper has some of her best conversations in the middle of the night.
My Dukes has been my roommate, so she knows the crazy.
Oh, that's
But we
awesome.
did, but after that conversation, and we really didn't see each other all that much. We'd see each other on live here or there, whatever, but we had not spent much time. And so I knew, I was like, this is gonna be when we finally get to just have this conversation. So much amazing stuff is gonna come out of it. And like just I'm gonna toot my own horn and say I was right.
Oh, thank you. I'm humbled by you and your platform. It's an amazing platform. And just you can feel the amazingness of it just because of the freedom to express, all of it. Because I don't like pretentiousness or putting on airs. I am who I am. And I wouldn't be any of that without all of that. So I own all of them, all of my pieces. I'm in this place right now where every day you'll see on my story or when you go on Instagram, day 178, gathering all my pieces. I'm gathering them all. I'm not blowing away anything. All of them, the ones that are cute, the ones that are not. That's the puzzle. And we try to, polish everything and put it together this way, but you're not who you are without said pieces. If you take all of that, the puzzle it won't be concluded. You know what I mean? So owning those pieces too, falling in love with every part of me, you know, and loving her for who and what she's been designed to be. And that doesn't mean to look down on the things that you've gone through. You thank God for them and you become better daily. Honestly, say something to yourself daily that reminds you of the person you're trying to be, even though sometimes we feel like we're not adding up. But gather all your pieces.
And forgive yourself when you mess up. Give yourself
Finally,
give yourself grace.
finally, the same grace that we go around tooting and touting for everybody else. Let's not be hypocritical another day and treat ourselves with that with less than what we give to others. Because that's not fair either. You can't give out of what you don't have, and you can't continue to, because a lot of times people take and take and take, but you can't blame them if you're open to the taking. It's time for me now. So I don't care. I'm not being mean when I say no. It's a sentence. It's done. Period. No, I don't have to explain because I was a people pleaser for years. But now I'm like, hey, no, it's okay. Because I have a couple more years left, I believe, and I'm trying to live the rest of my days, the best of my days.
I love that. I love that. I love that. So talk to me about like poetry as a I don't know, do you do poetry professionally, or is it like more, I feel like it's more than a hobby for you, right? Because you're out doing open mics and
I'm just getting my feet wet again. I left this whole thing, like I said earlier. It's okay, babe. I left this whole thing alone. I only started doing poetry again in 2022 because a parishioner, one of my old former church members, she hits me up a couple of months prior to her 50th in 2021 and says, "You're my favorite poet, my favorite lyricist, and I would love for you to come and do poetry for me." And this is in 2021. And I'm nervous. So I'm like literally stalling for like 3 weeks, making up all kinds of excuses as to why. I'm like, I'll get back to you. I'm trying to figure things out. I had nothing to figure out, just was shitting in my drawers. And I'm like, oh my God, what's going on? But something said, you know what? Go. It's okay. Just do this. Someone is telling you that you're their favorite, their 50th. Just show up and go. And when I showed up, people were like, oh my God, you got to come do something for us. You got to come and do something for us. So all of a sudden now I'm doing shows, talk shows. I'm like, what's going on? So I just started again. I wouldn't say I'm professional at it yet. You know, I'm just doing it from my heart. I prayed that it would become something. But what I tell everybody is, my biggest concern in the world is keeping people from off the ledge. So 1 minute you'll see me twerking on my Instagram. 1 minute you'll see me making it rap, a quirky song, because I'm not married to anything. I'm an open, whatever you want to call me, I will do anything. So I love poetry, but I'm certainly not into poetry like I see my community is. Like I'm just getting myself immersed again. But I'm willing to do anything to keep one person from prematurely aborting the process.
Absolutely. Making everybody smile, putting it out there to just make everybody smile and just bring them into the light. And I knew that. I knew that about you. And I loved that about you. We connected over that instantly. And, you know, I'm that class clown too, right? I'm that clown. And I respond so much to that in you because you are everything. I always see you in your reels, and it's like this is fun, you know? Like people want to be where you are, right? Because that's where the party is. Like, what's Queen doing? Where's she at? What's going on, right? That's where the fun is. And you bring
Thank you.
that. You bring that, and it's absolutely beautiful. So
Thank you.
so we're getting on to our hour, and I always like to leave time for you to talk about advocacy. If you have any charities you want to talk about, groups you want to talk about, anything you want to make us aware of, make that footprint bigger, definitely please share that with us.
First and foremost, everything that I do, like I just said earlier, is for Suicide's Rival. Even though I took a break, a hiatus from that, it's my YouTube channel that I really just left to the side. Not that I forgot about it, but it's just that Instagram, for some reason, I know how to navigate it better. So I'm just trying to grow my following on Instagram as well as TikTok. TikTok, I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm trying to grow those two so that I can somehow go back to YouTube. Suicide's Rival, that's who I really am. At the end of the day, my core is to help one person anywhere. I don't care what background, walk of life. I just want to keep people from prematurely killing themselves because I'm here because of that. I should have been dead at 18, and here I am, 47, and God spared my life. So my life is to serve that demographics of people, as well as I also have a book on Amazon, Give It 100, My Weight Loss Journey in 100 Words. And I would love for that footprint to be made bigger. I would love for that to be really gigantic. But, you know, I do have that book on there. I believe as I grow, it'll grow as well. But it's really good. It's like a little hype man, having a little hype man behind you, because I'm just edifying people to just come out of their shells and love themselves as they pursue becoming the version of themselves that they are proud of. I'm also going to be slamming against amazing, amazing poets on this coming Monday with Saved by the Words, which is comprised of Shop Crystal, Renee Monroe, and KR. And I will be going for a trip to Bermuda. Whoever wins goes to Bermuda. So please, if you have time on your hands on Monday at 9 p.m., please come support your girl. I will be going for that as well. And I do have my own show, Humaning with Queen Liberatti. And that's every third Saturday, except for this one, because I was so sick that I had to cancel it last week. I will be featuring my own blood sister, who is an amazing, amazing beacon of hope. Judy Touzet on Humaning with Queen Liberatti, Saturday at 9 p.m., March the 23rd. So please feel free to come by if you have nothing else to do. And that's pretty much it. Just you can catch me on IG live sometimes. I try to keep my distance from there to not drain myself. But at the end of the day, I am here. If you need me, if you know anyone suffering with any kind of depression, anxiety, send them to me, so I can pump them back to life the best that I can.
I love that you are talking about suicide. That is something that always, always needs to be talked about and not stigmatized, destigmatize it. National Suicide Hotline. I cannot remember the number, Catalyst. I know you're like the
I
genius.
think 988 is the number as well. So you can
Yes,
do that, guys.
absolutely.
1-800, the hotline, I think too. There's a 24-hour hotline, but 988-123, and that's wherever you at in the whole United States of America. I believe you can hit that number.
Absolutely. So thank you so much for sharing that and talking to us about that. And thank you very much for sharing the information about your show. I did not realize you had a show, but I'm creating a show calendar. So I need to add that in there. And
Definitely.
we'll talk off camera about that because I want to give you access to the calendar so you can see all of the open mics and shows and everything. But
thank you so much.
I just absolutely adore you. And I'm so glad that we got to do this today. My heart feels open and light. I'm gonna cry the fourth time.
That's amazing. Oh my God. Thank you so much. You've made my day. Everyone in the audience has made my day. Thank you for all the beautiful, beautiful affirmations and kind words. I think it's beautiful, especially amongst women, that when we come together, that we're not competing against each other, but that we're seeing the star in each of us, the brilliance, the diamond in every last one of us. And I'm so grateful to be a part of this platform today because you can feel that love, that open, free love where women are able to definitely tap into that love, the camaraderie, the female, the energy too, because we need that amongst ourselves. I have this poem called Dreaming in Living Color. Is this dream. It's a poem that I wrote because of a dream that I had. And in this dream, we were all one. There was such unity in humanity. And this is what you guys present today. So thank you for this beautiful platform and having me and seeing something in me to come be a part of it today.
I love what you just said, because you just talked about crystals, and crystals grow, right? They form other crystals. Crystals grow, and they form other crystals in a matrix. So
powerful.
We all crystals in a matrix today, for sure.
Woo! That sounds like a prompt, y'all. Crystals in a matrix. Oh,
maybe
amazing.
That needs to be our collab. We can talk about that later, but
we could talk about it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. Catalyst and I were talking about somehow at the end of the year, kind of having like a comeback around kind of thing. So when we do that, I definitely want to have you.
Oh, pray. I would definitely be excited to be a part again. Thank you for that. I look forward to being a part again. Thank you. Thank you to everybody today.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody. This is our show for the day. Queen Liberatti, you've seen, she's absolutely she's a gem. She's a gem, and we love her. We love her well.
We love you too. I love you too.
Please follow her on her platforms. Check out her show, buy her book, all good things. So yeah, that's it. Catalyst, please.
Oh my goodness, Queen, thank you so much. This has been life-changing, literally. So thank
Catalyst,
you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You're always welcome here.
I love you. I love you so much. Okay, I don't want to keep crying on this. I love you.
Look at us, a group of badass women who surround ourselves with badass women who aren't afraid to reach out and straighten one another's crown with no jealousy, no competition, because we all know we have our spots.
Come on here. Come on here, Queen. Thank you, my dukes. I love you. Mwah. Thank you so much.
Awesome. It was wonderful meeting you.
You too. You too.
Thank you, everybody, for watching. Oh, sorry. please.
No, I'm like, I don't want to keep talking if we gotta go, because I'm like, do I exit myself out? Or you guys exit
Well,
me out?
we honestly, we don't want to say goodbye. That's what it is. None of us want to say goodbye. So
Aw,
you know, we're still saying the goodbyes, but thank you again. Much love
thank you.
always. Everybody, this
I
has
love
been
you.
The Artist with Queen Liberatti. Thank you so much for being here. We hope that you are just as filled with love and light as we are at this moment. Thank you for watching.